Hi there! So in one of my last videos I explained how I made my bedside tables, and I also in the same video I walked through how I made my bed. Go and check out the video, I'll link it up here I think it's on this side. But one thing I didn't show you is how I actually glued the two pieces of wood together for the bedside tables. They were glued at a 45-degree angle. And I thought to myself, a lot of you guys aren't going to have access to the saw that I had access to, which means you're not going to be able to do the 45-degree cut. So I thought I'd make a video on how you can do it at home a different way. So I made my 45-degree cuts on my table saw at work, and I realise a lot of you guys aren't going to have access to that, but it basically makes a perfectly 45-degree angle on the piece of wood. It's really nice, really clean, but obviously you guys aren't going to be able to do that. Well, some of you aren't, some of you are. This is its most simple form basically, so you put the two pieces together, you put some tape over them, and you glue them up. I'll do that quickly now to show you how it's done. For the glue up, I started by putting both pieces together with 45-degree angles facing each other, and ever so slightly overlapping. Then I put tape, special tape, I'll get to that in a minute, over the joint and rub it into the surface. You can then turn it over and put glue in the joint. I like to put glue in the bottom of the joint and on the side a little bit. Once the glue's in, fold the piece up and secure it with another piece of tape, and then you can put tension on that tape to make it nice and square. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so the good thing about this joint is it's nice and strong. It's much stronger than a normal butt joint because you have more surface area created by the 45-degree cut. It's also more pleasing to the eye in my opinion. You don't have end grain on either this surface or this surface. Makes it more appealing to the eye in my opinion. The downsides, sometimes it can be difficult to do if you don't have a saw that can cut perfect 45-degree angles. But that's how I did it. I wanted to show you. Now I've got two pieces of wood here which I'm going to use as sort of an example here, and the aim is to join these two pieces like that. Now there's loads of different ways of doing this, but I'm going to go with the simplest but strongest way of swapping out that joint. So I mean, you could do like a box joint, you could do dovetails, but they're all things that require, I would say, more workmanship than what I'm about to show you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to screw them together, just a standard butt joint with glue, and then I'm going to remove the screws and replace them with dowels. I don't like leaving screws in woodwork. I think it looks tacky if it's going to be seen, so I would prefer to take them out and replace them with a dowel. In this example, I'm going to start off by doing a simple butt up joint with glue and screws. You'll notice that I'm using a drill bit that is slightly bigger than the screws so that I can align the surfaces perfectly. As with any glue up, be sure to make sure it's nice and square, and be sure to clean off the excess glue with a wet rag once it's all done. And while this was drying, I cut some dowels. They're not of any particular length, just a little bit so that they can go into both surfaces. Once the glue is dried, or at least almost dry, I'm going to remove the screws and drill out the holes for an 8mm wooden dowel. And I also sharpen the ends to make room for the glue inside the hole. And as you can see, it doesn't look too bad. Okay, so the advantages to this are it's very strong. Because we've now got a dowel in this joint here, it's actually going to be stronger than this joint here because we're not relying simply on glue. We've got a mechanical element in there as well, which is adding more strength to the joint. The downside, it's not that attractive. Okay, this surface here, we do have the dowels on this end here, but here we have end grain, which we can see. So this would be good for a job where you can only see one surface and you're not too worried about having the little holes there. It does also add a style element to it. I think in certain cases adding these dowels here is going to look better than a 45-degree joint. All depends on what you're doing. You've got to make a decision on what you need for your job and what you're capable of doing with the tools you have at hand. And both of these pieces will be going on my tool wall back here, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. I might use them for mounting a drill or some, I don't know, but they are going to both be going on there as an example, and we'll see how they hold up over time. So that's it for this week. It's just a quick video, something I wanted to share with you. I want to keep this channel beginner friendly, and I realised in that project there wasn't really anything beginner friendly in it. Something that I can't do in my shop here is something that you are probably not going to be able to do at home either. So I want to keep it beginner friendly, I want to keep it simple, and that's why I'm making this video. Be sure to go and check out my previous video where I make that tool wall behind me. In a future video I'm going to add all the tools on it, but I've just got to get to it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Oh yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, and post a comment down below. I'd love to know what you think.